Okay, so I thought I would do another miniature game. This was a bishop's opening. Not really a fan of this move. So knight f6, d3, bishop e7. This is all theory. Now here, this move was played, f4, and now it's starting to look more like a Vienna or a King's Gambit. But here, black had the option of going d5, which already gives black a small advantage. But instead, black recaptured the pawn, which is a mistake. And here, I think most people would just recapture the pawn, which is not the best move. The best move is actually to go e5. The point is the knight has no squares and must go back to g8. And even though black is temporarily up a pawn, you can see that white has more space, and this bishop on c4 is better than this bishop on e7, more active. And for that reason, the computer at depth 16 is giving white a 0.7 advantage. So after knight g8, knight c3 was played, which is not what I would do personally. I would have just recaptured this pawn with the bishop, because g5 starting to look like a King's Gambit. And well, the line where you recapture and then play g5 is one of the most testing lines against the King's Gambit, if not the most testing. And it's very sharp, very complicated, so for that reason I probably would have just captured the pawn and avoid all those complications. But in this particular position, g5 is actually a mistake, as you can see by the computer evaluation is giving white being up a whole rook, a +5 evaluation. So, but after the knight retreats, knight c3, and now d6, and here it does make sense to recapture the pawn with the bishop. The point is, if you take the pawn, then you can recapture with the bishop, which is what black does. And this is not a very good move because, well, there's 3 pieces out for white versus just 1 for black, and you don't want to be behind in development when the position is starting to open up. So what the computer prefers is to go knight c6. That way you're not so behind in development. But even so, the computer is still giving white a pretty big advantage. So after recapturing, again, most people would just take the pawn. But here, this move was played, which is a double attack. You're attacking the pawn, you're attacking f7, so recapturing the pawn with check, and well, you just are sacrificing the bishop, but the bishop really cannot be taken. If you take the bishop, that's just being too greedy, and well, it's not forced mate, but I mean, this position, I think any decent player would take white here, just because you have 3 pieces out, and this king is never going to be safe. It's going to be running around for the rest of the game, and well, pretty much any reasonable move here for white is winning. Knight f3 is winning, long castles is winning. So in this position, white is just having all the fun. So for that reason, this move was played to defend the pawn. And now the queen captured on e5, which is attacking the rook. And here there was a mistake made. Now this move, knight f6, is very logical and it makes a lot of sense. The point is, you're defending the rook, you're developing a piece, and you're preparing to castle so that your king is safe. Now, yes, you could play something like knight f3 or long castles as white and still maintain an advantage, but white is pretty much winning here by force. So you can pause the video and think about this position for as long as you need to. And well, I'm going to assume that you did. The move here is knight to d5. The idea is, well, you're threatening to take the knight on f6 with check, and due to the pin, you cannot recapture. So just to show what I mean, let's just make a bad move. Check, and you can't take. Right, the computer is not gonna let me do it because that's not legal. And so for that reason, well, you might say, can black just castle? And the answer is no, because now you can take this and it's a check, and now you're just up a piece with white, so this is just winning easily. Because here the king is also defending the bishop, so you have two attackers and two defenders. When you castle, you remove one of the defenders, and so bishop e6 blocking the queen's attack is a very logical move, and it's the move that I looked at when I saw knight d5. So here, well, you can pause the video and try to figure it out. So here you have knight c7 check, and well, this move just looks ridiculous, so we're not even gonna look at that. King f8 seems like the only move, but after bishop check, king g8. Here, when I first saw knight d5, I calculated this, and here I thought that, well, I can just recapture with a knight, and I'm attacking the queen, and if you take it, queen takes is checkmate, and bishop takes is also checkmate. But more accurate is to take with the queen sacrifice. The point is, you're threatening checkmate, and again, if you take, then bishop takes is checkmate. But there's also another move which I missed. So instead of bishop e6, black can try this move, knight b d7. And here I had to really think, because, well, all the other threats seem to not work anymore. Taking doesn't work because you can just recapture with the other knight. And black is attacking the queen. So here the correct move is knight c7 check. And well, if you go king f8, you could take the rook and win the exchange. But even stronger is, again, just to go bishop h6 check. And after king g8, you can pause the video one last time and try to figure out what the best continuation is. Here you have the bishop sacrifice. The point is that the only move is to take the bishop, and now queen e6 is checkmate. So I thought this was a pretty game, very interesting, lots of nice checkmating variations. So I hope you liked the video, and yeah, thank you for watching.